your TNT show is y'all are going to lose the NBA here a year from now. We're all kind of bummed about that in a big way. I know you hear that all the time, but we just want to ask you some questions about that show. And as you think about, the coming year, I'm just curious what parts of that are you going to savor? How are you going to savor it? And what are you going to miss most about all that?
Well, I think you savor all of it. I mean, it's kind of the reality. I don't know if it's really sunk in yet that this is our last year of the NBA on TNT, and that's tough because we've had such a long relationship with the league, and back before I've been at Turner for 35 years, and TBS had a relationship with the NBA before then, and then TNT was just getting started. So, it's going to be different, but it's also going to be the same. It's going to be another season of me and Kenny and Shaq and Chuck doing whatever it is that we do, which I've never really totally been able to wrap my head around. But it will be, I think for all of us, it's really going to be special. And really can't really look down the line too much beyond that as to what happens to the four of us, and who knows, maybe we stick together and do a different kind of a show. Who knows? I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there, and so it's way too early to even look into the future that way. But this is going to be a fun final season of doing the NBA on TNT, and I would rest assured that nothing will go unsaid because everybody realizes it's one more crack at it on that forum at least. So it's going to be great, and it's been just a blessing for me to work with those guys for as long as we have, because that just doesn't happen in TV very often, where I'm the old man at 35 years doing that show, but, Kenny and Chuck, 20 plus years, Shaq for the last 13 or so. And somehow we haven't had a TV executive step in and say, what would really work is this guy with this guy and this guy and get rid of this guy. They haven't done that. And so that kind of longevity I appreciate. And we'll give you another season, man. We'll nobody's FedExing this thing in, I'll tell you that.
I was going to say what I can't wait is, it teeters sometimes with Shaq and especially Chuck. And now you're giving Chuck almost just kind of a free gun to just go off. I mean, it's going to be very interesting.
Hey, he's always had that, Frenchie.
That's a good point.
That is not going to change. No, it's going to be the same show.
Hey, Ernie, I know the show evolved, over time, especially the beginning, but was there ever a moment, where you said, wow, this thing's special. This thing's got potential to be really, really special?
I just think it started feeling a little different when Chuck got there. Because Kenny and I had worked together for a couple of seasons, and we had a really good thing going. And I knew from day one when Kenny, late in his career, had a couple of 10-day contracts and would come in and hang out and do a couple of shows. And I remember Tim Kiley, our producer, and I looked at each other and said, man, when this guy's playing or days are done, he's going to be outstanding. He gets it. And so we had a great time. And then when Chuck came in, he changed the entire landscape of shows like that, because it was no longer strictly a basketball show. And he would if the game was no good, he said the game was no good. And this is terrible, and then it was, if he felt like something was happening in the world that he wanted to talk about, man, he's going to talk about it. And that really freed everybody up just to kind of, take it as it comes and let it fly. And I think that's kind of what's resonated with the fans out there too, because I think they watch and really aren't sure exactly what's going to happen next. And you can join the club, because I don't either. One of the one of the scariest parts of the job early on when Chuck joined us was when he would, we're live and he said, I got to get something off my chest. And I was like, and I hope everybody knows who's saying this and that it's not, the guilt by association. But that's what's made it so much fun, because he was always the most quotable guy in the league when he played, and that didn't change a bit. And that's the thing. A lot of former athletes, when they get into this, are a little reticent and, don't want to step on any toes or don't want to say something that, an old teammate might hear this or that kind of thing. But he's just been the same person now that he was then. Frenchie's the same way. And Jeff Rancourt on TV is just like Jeff in the clubhouse, and that's the most important thing. My dad always taught me, he said, be yourself. And if you are yourself, then you never get on there feeling like, okay, I got to be TV guy today, or I've got to, no, you're just who you are. And that I think just resonates with the viewer.